Welcome to Meeting of the Moms, a place to talk about all the things. I'm Amy Rasmussen. I'm a teacher by profession, a wife and mother by choice, an optimist by nature, and happy by design. I'm here with my good friend Lorna, who I call one of my greatest cheerleaders.
Hi, I'm Lorna Adams. I'm a wife, mom, and certified life coach. I strive to embrace and enjoy each new phase of life. Here at Moms, we believe the world is wide open to all of us and that we have unlimited potential. We're so glad you're here.
So today I'm going to celebrate my kids. All of my kids are home this summer, and some of them have friends that they're hanging out with quite a bit. My young adults aren't hanging out with friends as much. A lot of their social life is outside of town. But I just was noticing and realizing, like, my kids are hanging out with friends. I want to hang out with friends. And so I did initiate just like a girls' lunch. I just have I reached out to just two friends here in town, and at the end of May, maybe beginning of June, and said, hey, do you guys want to meet for lunch? Anyway, it just made me think about it because yesterday was one of our lunches that we met together and had lunch. And we've done it a few different times throughout the summer, and just how it just takes a question like, hey, do you want to do this? And I did, and we've probably gotten together maybe 5 times this summer. And I could have either felt lonely and sad about it, or I could reach out and say, hey, are you guys interested? And then see how it went. And they totally were excited about it and jumped on it, and it's been great. So, and celebrating looking action. When you want something to be a little bit different, that's what I wanted, and it's worked out really well. I'm not saying it'll always work out well for everyone, but that's just been a really fun thing.
Right. That's awesome. That's fantastic. And so often there are other people who are like, yeah, that would be fun. And it just takes someone to take a step.
Yeah. Yep.
So
totally.
That is so cool. My celebration is I've been doing, this is funny because you're just talking about like thinking outward and being with people. And my celebration today is I've been doing quite a bit of introspection and some thought work. I've just been taking some time to process things in different ways than I have before. I've found some different ways to write things out. And then it helps me look at it a little differently than my previous ways of writing things out, which is cool to take time with friends and to take time with yourself.
Totally.
So both things are really good.
And I am a big advocate of taking time with yourself too, because then we actually can be recharged and show up with our friends and our family and whoever else better. So I think we need all of it. We need the alone time and the outward social time or whatever it is.
Yeah, we just need both. Okay, awesome. So you have something you want to tell me about your bullet journal that I want to hear about.
So in the past, I have with my bullet journal, I feel like my pages are precious. So I do not want to frivolously fill up my pages, because some of the reason is it takes effort to set up each new bullet journal, because I put in a month, like a 1 month view, a 1 month spread on each page in the beginning of my journal. So January takes up 2 pages, February, March. Anyway, so I have not been putting my weekly schedule, my 2-page spread weekly, on a page inside my bullet journal. I've been doing it on a separate page and putting it in my bullet journal every week. And after Amy and I talked last week, I'm like, I'm going to just try it in my bullet journal and see how it goes. So I put it in my bullet journal. I will show it if anyone's watching on video. It is messy, and I'm totally fine with that because it is still me just trying it out. So this top half is my week's calendar, and this bottom half is my journaling and kind of a quick. Well, there's a phrase that he says in the bullet journal. What's it called? A quick.
Rapid something.
Yes.
Keep talking. Let me grab my book.
Fire. I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, but just to kind of make notes about the day. And so it's been fun to have that on this one page, so then it's easier to make it happen. Anyway, it is a mess, but it is just me practicing using 1-page spread to do my weekly calendar and just my notes, kind of summarizing what's gone on. So anyway, just fun to try it a little bit different.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. So he calls it rapid logging.
Thank you.
So in other words, not like the full sentences and thinking through all the words you're going to say, mostly just like quickly trying to get some stuff out. I mean, maybe full sentences, I don't know, but still just
the quick.
Really,
and I do love the permission to do rapid logging, because sometimes as I've looked at my journals, I'm trying to be eloquent and explain myself so well and like, this is lame. The point is, I went to the store with my son or whatever it is,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Why am I feeling like I have to be so fluffy? And so I do like trying to be a little more direct. And I think I could still improve on that. But I just like kind of the permission to do rapid blogging. I don't have to have all the
Yeah.
details. Not everyone needs to know all the fluff. And sometimes
Right.
I want to add details, and that's totally fine too. But
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Well, and I think sometimes when you and I are talking, one of us will like tell a story and then it's like, okay, wait. But I have to tell you this part too. And I have to tell you that part too, right?
yes.
But it can really bog me down. And it sounds like it can bog you down if I'm trying to do the same thing with writing. Whereas like if in writing, I'm just like, my parents came to the play with us, loved it. Also missed Low because he couldn't come. Okay, right? And then I already have like in my bullet journal that we went to, which play we went to, and then I know, oh, my parents came. Oh, that was the one Lo couldn't come to. And it just, for me, like it's able to bring back a lot of the memory just with that tiny bit. And I don't think I had the confidence before that it would do that.
Yeah.
And so I felt like I needed to give the whole story. And I'm like, I don't want to write anything. It's so laborious.
Yes.
Ever.
Yes, I think that can be daunting, right? This isn't worth it. I'm not going to do it because I feel like it's going to take forever. Where with the rapid blogging, it can just be quick and easy. Awesome.
Yeah. And then sometimes I was so worried about writing all the stuff, all the details down, that I never just got to the fact that I missed having my son there and it was fun to have my parents come. And I'm like, that's the whole reason I was writing it down.
Totally. And I think it's true. I think it's easy to miss, like, actually the main point or some of the feelings that I wanted to share that I didn't get to because I was trying to be so factual with the details or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so of course I have questions about how you put it together. So I'm surprised that you could take only half of the page. So just in case, people are wanting to look at this, I'll show what mine looks like. So mine is also a 2-page spread, but I have like from here all the way down to here. That's actually like the things I'm doing during the day. And then I just have a very tiny place for notes. Now your bullet journal is bigger than mine.
Yes.
So that might be part of it. But tell me more about how did you even decide when you were trying it that you wanted to give it just half a page instead of like the whole thing?
Because I don't want it to waste all the paper.
Oh, it's all.
And I love the point about trying to document right there on that same page what was going on. So with the bullet journal, there are bullets, right? The grid. And so I just used one space for 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m. So I still am doing it like I did on here. But just using the bullets. But just using the bullet lines to govern my 1 hour increments. So, and then I just have to be really efficient with what I'm writing. It is like two words possibly, and sometimes it has to be abbreviated because I do have very little space.
So you might write like PC for podcast.
Yeah.
PCA, and that could be podcast with Amy.
Yeah.
For example, or whatever. Maybe not that brief, but
right. But yes, it would be like, doing abbreviations more than all the words, just so that I can still have it out here. I am still playing with it. I may end up doing 2 dots per hour. So then I can do the full hour and then the half hour. It could be 12 and 12:30 and 1 and 1:30, just so that it might give me a little more space, but I won't have as much space to do the rapid blogging. So I'm still debating, but I thought I'm going to try it. I'm just going to see so I can use my precious paper wisely. This is my first step.
Yes. Okay. So, but I'm curious again, is there something on there, like even where you wrote down that we were going to meet today, that you could show me close up and hold it still? I just want to kind of see how it looks, but I know you also have your appointments on there with coaching.
With everything I do lots of initialing. So let me just show you. This is my, it's kind of blurry, huh? It's not.
It is blurry. Okay. Well, we might have to share like pictures or something, or just when we're in person, you'll have to show it to me. I'm just so curious. And from what time in the morning? I see that you did till 10 p.m. Is it 5 or 6 in the morning?
I did 5 a.m.
For the school year when you're actually getting up earlier?
Yeah.
Summer. I mean, I don't know what time you're getting up, but
it's more like 6:45 at the earliest right now.
Yeah.
But yes, school year is in the 5 o'clock hour typically. So
And then so just hold it up far away again. Is it still 2 pages or just 1 page? It doesn't have to be close where I can see anything.
So it is the 2-page spread.
Okay, so I can just
Sunday,
start with
Monday.
Sunday.
Oh, I started with Saturday. I decided to start with Saturday because a lot of the times I'm doing this on a Friday. And so I wanted to have the Saturday included. But then I also typically I'm ending it on this Saturday also. I just have shifted that on because I like to see both. So I may eventually pull off the second Saturday, but for now I do Saturday to Saturday.
Okay, that's awesome. I was just talking to another friend yesterday about this whole concept of like for me on Monday, I want to just be able to start going. I don't want to take a first hour of my day once all the kids are out the door to process what I'm going to do that week. It just slows me down and bogs me down. And I have energy on it's go time for me. And I know the concept of Monday hour one, maybe that could work for me if I left my home and arrived at a place of work at on Monday at 8 a.m. or something. And then I use my first hour that way. But because I'm already up and going, and so the inertia's there, I'm like, oh, the inertia needs to stay.
Totally.
Anyway, so we were just talking about how I like to do that. And I was saying, like, I almost want my hour done to be on Thursday and my hour one to be on Friday. But then anyway, so we've just been playing with the whole concept of where to put them. And so then she had heard of this idea of how to kind of block out your days differently than a traditional calendar. So I love that you put Saturday and Saturday. And that's telling me too, it's making me think that I might be able to do something similar. Because what I realized when I was playing with it is if I start the week with Friday, it ends on Thursday, but then I can't see Friday. And I'm like, I still need to see Friday of the context. But I don't know if I need to see that next weekend or not, because weekend is just a different animal, but Friday is like both. Yes.
It does lead into the weekend, but
right. And sometimes if it's leading into the weekend in a certain way, that means like I really need to see it with my Saturday and Sunday because we're leaving town on Friday or whatever. And I'm not going to do my hour one that day. I'm actually going to adjust and do it Thursday. But so this is fantastic. Of course, it does mean I'm going to have to give up one of my favorite things, which is this fat section. It's like two sections of a weekday where I'm able to write down kind of my weekly thoughts of like, okay, when I scan back over this week during hour done, what were my takeaways? And so I will have to think on this, but I might just have to be more efficient with a one column there. So I'm just going to think. Thinking on that.
I think that is exactly what I love about what we are doing together is we can brainstorm and share, like the word collaboration, that even with bullet journal, we're collaborating. We're doing our own things, but we're able to talk through and get ideas and even share ideas, and sometimes talking through things like, this is what I'm doing. I'm still trying to figure it out. Sometimes you offer things, and sometimes it's just insight that I get as I'm talking to you about it that come, and I'm like, oh, I want to try that differently or whatever. So I love that even this, we're doing it on our own, but as we share it, we can get different insights and different ideas.
Yes.
And I do feel like I really do value, and I think you do too, we value collaboration in general with lots of things. That it is so awesome to be able to talk through things and work on things together. And so I'm even thinking about the lunch that I was celebrating. To me, that is like collaborating, working, being together. So with these particular friends, each one of us is taking a turn hosting at our house, and we just provide the lunch. And it doesn't have to be anything over the top. We're happy to be in each other's homes. The homes don't even have to look perfect by any means. We are just happy to be together. Right. And so maybe we're not brainstorming on something specific like bullet journaling, but we are still getting together and uniting. And a lot of times there is discussion. I mean, just like with you and me and whatever friends you're talking to, things do come up that you get ideas for, you ask for input or whatever. So I think that is a way of collaborating even also.
It's just fun to think that with lunches and stuff, it could be like, come over, I'm making grilled cheese. I'm not trying to wow anyone.
Right.
The whole point is just for us to get together, or I threw a soup in the crock pot or whatever. It's really whatever's easy and low stress so that it doesn't get in the way of us getting together and having fun.
Absolutely.
Being each other's presence. Then with collaboration, it makes me think that a lot of times as women, I think a lot of us as women need that collaborative friendship kind of a thing. The hard thing is when something steps in and one of us thinks we should be doing it the way the other person is doing it. And I think that's what's been fun over the years for us in general. I have had the feeling that we're just like, hey, I'm doing this and it's super cool and it's really working for me. I mean, do what you want. I don't know what's going to work for you. And that feeling is there. And so we don't have it step in like, oh my gosh, I totally should do this the way Lorna is doing it. But instead it's inspiring because I'm like, oh, that's another way of looking at this. And I have been looking for a way to do that. And I just couldn't, nothing was coming to mind. So if nothing else, I can try Lorna's way first and then I'll play with it.
Yeah. And
So that's
I
important.
think that is huge, that I feel like with you, I feel safe in being on whatever level I am and seeing whatever level you are. And it isn't intimidating or defeating or overwhelming. It really is. I can celebrate where you are and I can celebrate where I am. And I know they're at two totally different places. Like we talk all the time about how your brain works and how my brain works. Like you guys, Amy has a really awesome brain. You can tell her one topic and she can go on. She has lots of ideas and thoughts and whatever to share. And that's not necessarily my strength, right? So it's just interesting to see that we're at different places and it's totally great where we both are. And so I really appreciate that this relationship that you and I have is one like that, where I think in the past there had been a friend that I did feel like I never measured up to. I really struggled with, and she wasn't someone that would be safe for me to be maybe collaborating with on things or just even trying to work through things with, because for me, I felt insecure around her. And then really as a side note, that was a red flag for me, saying I have some work to do on myself. And so I've been able to do some of that. But I just have appreciated finding that you and I have this relationship where we're just happy for each other wherever we are.
Yeah. It's huge. Just this morning, I was talking to a different friend the other one I exercise with, same kind of thing, where she's like, oh, Amy, you're the idea beast. That's what I call it. Like someone will bring something up. And sometimes I'm like, okay, you just unleashed the idea beast. So be prepared to get about 50 million texts from me today, because I told you 10 ideas, but it's going to just keep going. So that's something that I sometimes am like, okay, now it's going and it's got to go somewhere. So that does happen. But she just brought up this idea of bringing weightlifting back into our exercise, because we tried it for a while, but then we couldn't talk like we did when we walked. So anyway, it's like we've been going back and forth. So we did the same kind of thing where we're just brainstorming and spouting off ideas. And one thing that came out of that conversation is the fact that sometimes it's so much easier to start something if you have one other person you're doing it with. Because I said it could be fun on Wednesday if we invited anyone who wanted to come. Like, hey, if anyone is having this desire to try and figure out how to exercise early in the morning, we meet at this time, at this place, and we walk, or sometimes one of us might run, or we both run, whatever, but anyone can come and join us if you feel like it. And then it gives an opportunity for someone who's maybe looking for something to be like, oh, thank you, that will help me. Who knows if it'll turn into anything? But if no one shows up, I will still show up and my friend will still show up. So we have the consistent thing. But again, it's collaboration, where sometimes even to create something new. For you, you just started your lunch. I mean, you just asked people if they wanted to do it. So there's a great place for that too. But other things, it's like, well, at least if I know there's me, like a friend and I are both going to be there, then everything else is just gravy. So I think that's also the power of collaboration, because sometimes you're like, the whole point of this was so I could get together with friends for lunch. And if everyone comes back and says no, well, here I still am. Now you work with that, whatever, you deal with it.
Yes.
Or with the exercise. The whole point of this was now to create people to exercise with. But now there's no one. So I don't know, just that idea that it's so helpful to have someone else.
Totally. And I do remember for quite a few years, I remember thinking, if I have one friend, then I can host and invite lots, or I can, whatever that is. But for me, that the security of having one friend that was willing and liked the idea made a huge difference. And now I'm just going to ask. And I don't know if we've talked about this on here, but I've also hosted some card nights. I love to play cards. And so I've invited some women over for that same thing. Like, I'm just going to reach out, where now I don't feel like I need that one friend that's for sure on board before I can invite. And I'm still, on occasion, I'll do it that way. But I have also gained some self-confidence that I'm like, I'm just going to put it out there. And yeah, maybe everyone will think it's a dumb idea. And that's okay too. I'll keep looking for the right people, because obviously I'm not asking the right people if that's the case.
Right. Exactly. Yep. Well, and I think it also helps to kind of figure out, like, what do I even want out of this? Because you've talked about one particular card game where I think you need 4 people and it takes about this long. And so you've been really clear with the people you've asked. And maybe you spread the net wide and you've asked people, but in every text, you're like, I need 4 people. So then once you got 4 people, you'd probably send out a text like, hey, I got my 4 people, catch you next time, or whatever.
Yes.
But other times it's like, I'm really just looking for one person whose schedule can coordinate with mine. And if I have that, so that I am consistently doing the thing I want to do with a person, then I'm happy to just invite anyone.
Yes.
Because with this exercise thing, for example, I'm like, well, I don't want to just invite anyone. I want to have one person who I'm consistently meeting with, and I will like work around that schedule. I'm not working on everyone's schedule. I'm going to work around one person's schedule. And of course, we already have that set up, right? The two of us already have it set up. But I love that at times we need that, and at times we don't. And sometimes it's a confidence thing. Sometimes it's like what makes it easier.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So good. Well, it's so fun. I mean, I just think there's lots of ways that we could be working toward collaboration, and just like really, I guess the takeaway for me even is just to look for those people, like look for what you want to be doing maybe, and then find people that are willing to do it, and maybe be willing to take a no, right? Because if maybe it's not the right person, and to keep seeking out somebody that you want to do whatever this thing is with. Keep looking.
I think sometimes you're looking to do something with a particular person, in which case you might change what it is that you're doing, right? Other times you're looking for, I want to do this thing. Like for me, I want to be exercising and I want to do it in the morning. So I'm really not going to adjust to do it at noon. It's knowing yourself and knowing what you're looking for, and then being willing to, like, being okay with the fact that not everyone's going to fit that. And sometimes you're going to find a match in a surprising place. And I'd say the other person I walk with, when we first started, she's like, you want to do what time in the morning? So we tried a little bit, but over the course of a few years, maybe it was the beginning of the school year, she's like, I want to find someone who can do early the other 2 days of the week, because that's when you and I talk. And so for her, she had to just kind of grow into it. And so she was in that moment of like, who do I even ask? I mean, it is kind of weird. And I remember how I felt. So I just agree that you've got to be willing to just kind of send the word out there, and maybe be willing to take a surprise.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even think this would be the person, and that this friendship would grow up, and yet it does.
Yeah. So good.
Really
So
great.
good.
Thanks for coming to Meeting of the Moms. We hope it made your load a little lighter. We'd love to hear what's on your mind. Send your celebrations, takeaways, and suggestions for future topics to momswithamyandlorna@gmail.com.
If you enjoyed the show, please like, share, and subscribe. If this isn't the right fit for you, we wish you well on your journey. Until next time, I'm Lorna Adams.
And I'm Amy Rasmussen. See you next week at Moms.